Hi there, welcome to this video. My name is Jamie Pate and thank you so much for being here and watching. As you can see by the title, I'm going to be talking about the Blush MemoryDex Spinner. Now, this may be the first time you have encountered a Blush MemoryDex Spinner, and that's fine because the first part of this video, I want to share what exactly this little pink thing is. And then secondly, I want to show you how you can easily make cards to add to this spinner. So you ask, what is a Blush MemoryDex Spinner, in case you have never encountered one before? Well, I will tell you that this is a fancy, gorgeous, and perfect little item for displaying creative things. All the creative things you could possibly imagine. It's a perfect little gift, and that's really what I want to highlight for you, is how giftable this is, whether you put it on your own personal list because you don't have one yet, or if you have a crafty friend or even a non-crafty friend that might need something to display all the things on a desktop. So let's talk about the spinner for a second. First, it has this rotating apparatus. It's sort of this crystal-like acrylic knobs, and they both turn at the same time, and it turns this whole cylinder here on top. There are rubber pads at the bottom, so not only can you put it on pretty much any surface and it's not going to scratch it, but it's going to stay firm and sturdy and not move when you're looking at all the beautiful things that you have on the MemoryDex Spinner. It's made of this high quality plastic, but the thing about the blush, and it's going to be really hard to see here in the video, but it has this great like sheen, a little bit of this pearl-esque kind of look in the blush, and it's just so darn pretty. It's not super big, so it's fun and compact and can be placed easily on your desktop or your work table, on a side bureau, on a dresser. It also comes with a whole bunch of products that are included in the Heidi Swapp MemoryDex collection, and I'm going to show those to you as well. So it's like this sort of Rolodex kind of apparatus, right? You all ever have a Rolodex? Except a whole lot prettier. It's adorable, and it's a great way to record any of your memories. It's a fabulous way to display photos. I mean, think of it like a mini album, but on a display stand, always out and not hidden away in an album somewhere. It's a great visual holder for inspirational reminders. I especially love it to put meaningful quotes on it. It's a great way to utilize things that you want to remember just like that. So it's just ready to be filled with all your pretty things. In addition to the Blush MemoryDex Spinner, there's a Heidi Swapp MemoryDex collection that you can purchase from ScrapbookCom. It includes several different card kits, like these white background with gold foil and these clear acetate cards, plus watercolor cards that have die cuts that are great palettes for all kinds of DIY cards. There are calendar tabs if you want to make a calendar. There's also your classic alphabet tabs for, I don't know, maybe a birthday calendar, or ever think of keeping people's addresses anymore? Just a couple of ideas there, along with these classic journaling cards as well that have endless possibilities of how they can be used. By using the dies, you can create all the shapes in any kind of card and any kind of color you could possibly imagine. You can cut this side tab card, you can cut the top tab card, you can cut this ticket scalloped edge card, you can cut the oval card and pop them right there on your MemoryDex spinner. And then by using the MemoryDex hole punch, you can see it comes with the notches that fit perfectly so that anything that you punch with the hole punch, it will now be able to sit in your MemoryDex spinner. Let me show you here with this card. This card's about 3 by 4 inches. Just gonna line it up there. It cuts those out perfectly, and it sits prettily right inside the MemoryDex spinner. So by using your imagination, you can fill this spinner with all your personal memories, or make cards with photos, verses, quotes, inspirational reminders that you can then give as a gift. Let me show you a couple of easy ways to make cards that you can include on this Blush MemoryDex spinner. I have taken this snowflake die, and I used glitter paper, and I die cut out the snowflake on the glitter paper. It has a little notch here. I went ahead and trimmed that out, and I'll show you why. Now I can take the hole punch and line it up inside, and I can punch, And now I have this adorable die cut that's ready to go right into the spinner. And it's just that easy. Take cutaway cards, quote cards, any kind of cards, and you can cut them and make them ready for the MemoryDex spinner. Now I've taken this Mary die cut. I cut it out of smooth cardstock. I've already added the 1/8 inch foam strips just in a couple places on the back. And so now I can just adhere this to the middle of my snowflake, and it looks like it's kind of floating because I don't have it adhered flat. And it makes for a really pretty greeting that now I can add to my MemoryDex spinner. So that's just one way to add to the MemoryDex spinner, is with a real simple card made from a die cut. Okay, for this next card, I have already die cut this tabbed ink card out with the MemoryDex dies. I'm going to take a stencil and stickles. I'm just going to add a polka dot design to this card. Okay, so this card has been stenciled and it's dried very well. So now it just makes for a beautiful background for anything I want to add to it. I have already trimmed out some pink smooth cardstock, and I'm going to mat this white piece of cardstock with it. I'm actually going to come in here. I like to take this old spatula tool and just distress the edges. Gives them some lift. It helps them to not appear to be flat on the card. And I just love having that depth and that texture on these MemoryDex cards. So it's going to require a couple of pieces of foam dimensional tape. I'm going to put that in place here. I like to put my adhesive just right in the middle of a card, and I'll show you why. I've already pre-cut these branches from glitter paper, and they're going to tuck underneath here. I'm going to just make sure they work like I want them to, and then I'll add adhesive. I don't get too worried that these go over the sides a little bit. So I'll add some glue to the back of these. I'm going to tuck them underneath that card. All right, so I have my cardstock attached to the back. I have popped up also this white piece of matte paper, and then my cute little glittered branches are glued and tucked underneath as well. I've already pre-cut this Christmas die cut. It's going to sit up here. And again, it's going to kind of float by only just adding glue right to the very middle of it. I have that in place, and I'm going to let it dry. I have a little gold star that I've already cut out from a sticker pack. And then I'm going to make it be the dot on my Christmas on the eye. And then to finish it off, I have this great sticker book from ScrapbookCom. I'm going to grab a couple of stickers and add this in place on my card. And that is yet another way to add a card to your Blush MemoryDex spinner. Okay, for this card, I'm going to take I've already cut this white cardstock with one of the MemoryDex dies. I'm going to use this trees stencil. I'm going to stencil a pink background on this card. So it makes for a great background on just a basic white cardstock card, right? Next, I already have a pre-cut tag. I'm going to tie a bow around it with this gold thread. Like I said before, I really like to have my elements popped up. So I've already included a foam dimensional tape on the back. I'm going to put this a little kind of cattywampus on here. I've already pre-cut these white glitter holly branches, and they're going to attach here to the front. I'm also going to wrap them with some of the gold. I've glued those pretty glitter holly branches in place. I'm going to tighten up my gold thread here a little bit. I'm going to keep those ends kind of loose. I just sort of like that relaxed little look going on here. I'm going to reach in the sticker book and I'm going to grab a label. And I like to back my labels up with white cardstock just to make them a little heftier, especially when I'm going to layer them on a card like that. So I'm going to do that next. This is a common way I like to just decorate any of my MemoryDex cards, whether they are for Christmas, whether I'm making a sentiment card, or whether I'm adding photos. I just like to add the layers just like this. And then the last layer is going to be another sticker from the sticker book. And there you have it, the third card that we made today for our Blush MemoryDex Spinner. So there it is, friends. There's a beautiful way to create Christmas for yourself or for somebody else. The Blush MemoryDex Spinner by Heidi Swapp, exclusive at ScrapbookCom, is just one way to make someone's Christmas very handmade, very beautiful, and something that gives over and over again. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.